Okay, it's a Tuesday podcast, and we're heading into the.
I knew that was gonna. You know what? I felt that happening too, guys. It's fine. It's fine.
It's like you imagined it happening,
and it happened.
It's like it's like how we tell the kids, like if you're gonna like score a basketball, imagine the ball going in the hoop, and then it will happen. It's
Just
like,
imagine.
It's like you're.
Imagined it and it did.
You're in charge of the things that happen. You're in charge of your own destiny. It's really close to the holidays. And when you guys hear this, it's going to be even closer to the holidays.
It'll be 1 week closer and our show will be done. And we will be
oh my gosh,
relaxing.
I had you know, sometimes I wonder yes, just like destiny, I feel like everything's sort of just like happens for a reason, right? And not to say that in a cliche way, but like our show is on Saturday. And then my daughter went and booked like her party with, because she's turning 16.
You're an old mom. You literally are an old mom.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. Like you're old.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have old kids.
I ran into a girl, a lady, someone like us. I haven't seen since high school.
Yeah.
Did I tell you that?
No.
At school yesterday.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, so our kids are in the same grade. I didn't know, but when our kids started that grade, there's only 40 students. So obviously they know each other.
Oh.
And then she's like, yeah, and then I have a grade 11, then I have a first year university. I'm like, holy shit, you started early.
This is gonna be you.
Like, wow, because she's the same age as me.
I know.
So anyways, then I was like, Taylor booked that dinner like the day before my show. And so now it's like I have that thing to get over with before the show instead of it just being the show.
I know, but you're not going to be there.
But I have to do everything for it.
Oh.
So you know what I mean? It's like, why did
Tricky.
they go and throw another thing right? Like obviously there's a reason.
Yeah.
But
I think for her, she just did it without thinking.
No, that's
You mean
her
the
life
bigger
is
picture.
her destiny. Like what it means to me. Because, you know, I was like, okay, well, we just have, you know, an easy week. We don't have to, you know, do too much other than the kids. And then we've got Saturday. And then she's like this. And then I'm like, okay. And then my mom keeps calling me and being like, okay, well, where are you going to get the food from? Do you want help? I'm like day by day here. I'm like,
You always you do always pull it together.
I know I do. I was just thinking, I wonder why something had to come before the show.
You also, I told you this, you're so good at not thinking about
the future.
Yeah, or what's next. You're so good at it because even when your husband called and was like, let's sleep out Saturday night, I'm like, technically that's great for him, but technically it's terrible for you because then you're like, just like, who's where? How am I gonna do this? What, like you are on the cusp of having to ask someone from your family to come in and do it, but you don't think about it, so it's fine. Like you're not like, okay, minutia and logistic is majestically. It's like, okay, because we rely on our moms to step in when husband and wife are both gone.
You know, the only problem with that kind of thinking is that it's sort of like procrastination thinking, but your body knows to worry about it, but you don't choose to handle it. That's what I do, right? So like I know when my mom's like, can I help you with Friday night?
And you're like, but you just can't get it together.
And she keeps asking me. And what I should do is say, yes, could you please do this? Be here at this time. But like, I can't go there, but my body knows I still have to deal with it.
I know. And it's more helpful for them when you actually do that. My mom said yesterday, she's like, I feel like I could help you. And I'm like, it's actually just more work for me to tell you what to do than me to go and tell you what to do. I was like, if it's in my brain, I'm going to do it. So just let me do it and I'll figure it out rather than.
Because like trying to figure out how to do it is a lot of work, but like.
It's sort of like a man, but then they don't have to go figure it out. We just don't do it. And then we have to go and figure it out.
Yeah.
It's like, but they don't even really actually have to think. It's really not, some do, but a lot of men just don't have to think about the execution of details. They just don't think, so they just don't do it. It's so nice. It's just like, there must be so much space in their brain. There must be so much space in their brain.
Yeah. And I think that space is kind of like, probably feels pretty joyful. Empty space and empty air that would be joyful.
I don't think they know that it's empty and spacious in there.
Right.
I don't think they know it's wide open. I don't think they realize that because they'd be organized and they tell people what to do.
But they don't, like, I'm thinking about, like,
He doesn't have to worry about his daughter's 16th birthday on Friday night.
oh, and then so then I was, someone was at my house, and I was saying, who was I sitting with? It was a person, and we were talking about the 16th birthday. It was Felix. And then he's like, oh, is that all we're going to do for her 16th birthday? I'm like, I don't know. Like, when I turned 16, nobody had a sweet 16 party. It was not a big deal. It was just another birthday. I'm like, you're American. Was it big there? Because if it was, then maybe you should think about doing something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think things happen. And it doesn't need to. But also, don't let me plan her party for Friday night and then say, is that all we're doing?
Oh, right. Is that all we're doing now? I was joking.
I don't. Well, then she wants to go out with
that was a joke.
Then she wants to go with you and me and Olivia for a dinner.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go for what's right for your kid.
I know.
She would not. I'm just saying, she wouldn't.
I don't have a plan for that.
She wouldn't. Yeah, nope.
And I am out on her birthday.
Mm-hmm. And so is Olivia. I'm around. I told her, and then you're like, she has a dad. I'm like, okay, I wonder what he's got planned.
Well, also she has like a boyfriend. Maybe like he can have that day.
Oh yeah.
Can you have that day?
Usually you would.
Yeah. Well, apparently that's. So happening. I just want to make sure he knows. Can you take that day? Because I'm busy that day.
Right. I'm busy. I've got things that day. I'm her mom, but I'm busy. I'm so busy that day.
Someone was asking me, have you bought her anything for her Sweet 16? I was like, I bought things for the holidays. One of them will be for her birthday present.
Oh, God. You're so foolish to have kids in December. That was silly.
Never thought about that.
That was a silly.
If I could turn back time.
Yeah, you people who have birthdays in December for your children. I
never thought about when they'd be born when I got pregnant. I was just like, I want to be pregnant now.
I know now. Would you turn back time and do it differently?
Yeah, I'd never want to have babies in December.
Oh,
it's
no.
It's the worst.
Yes,
I got 2.
And January, too. I have one in January. That's not fun either because you're like, what am I going to get you for? And no one's really around. Everyone's kind of partied out and tired. You're kind of like, oh, it's not the most ideal.
Yeah, like February's great.
Yeah, March. Mine was March but I'm on March break, so no one's around ever.
May is, I love my birthday in May because then it's a celebration halfway through the year and then at Christmas, like there's 2 big celebrations.
Yeah, I do like my kids in the summertime too. No one's around. I like that though.
Yeah, because you don't have to have birthday. Yeah, I've got 2 in summer.
It's great. That's a great one. If you don't want to do birthday parties, summertime is amazing.
I did get kind of screwed having my birthday around Mother's Day. Didn't think about that.
You didn't think about it.
Because I was the baby.
And it's not always on Mother's Day. And it's everyone else's issue, not yours, because you don't have to get something for yourself.
Right. And luckily, I don't really expect that much. Like if I was a person who was like, I want a celebration for Mother's Day and my birthday,
Yeah.
And I plan my own birthday anyways.
You know what's really interesting? As I get older, I begin to realize that celebrations are just like actually like what do they say? Like, do you know toxic positivity? But like empty. It's like kind of like empty balloons of celebration because they have to, like they actually have to. So I was like, it's kind of when I get a present, I don't believe it. I'm sort of like
if you bring me home a gift because you were out and you saw it and you thought about me or you heard me say I'd really like to have that on any, and then you brought home, that is so thoughtful.
I know. And when it's your birthday and it's kind of takes the purpose out of the gift. You're like, well, thanks. You had to. And it was and
it was kind of annoying for you to have to go get it and think about it and pay for it and all of that. I'm with you.
And then a lot of moms like, I don't want anything. And then here's the thing. I saw this TikTok where it was like a daughter being like, my mom says she doesn't want anything. And then she gives me her list and her list is like 7 miles long. The reason, I actually don't really want, I don't need a gift. If that's not your love language, like if there was not a gift under the tree, I would not be sad. I would not feel sorry for myself. No. I would not be like, nobody loves me. No. I would not think that way. But I think moms give lists afterwards so they don't get things that are just just not thoughtful, just things that they think they need. Like, it's not like you made me something really thoughtful and I'm like, oh my God, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It's just something they thought we'd like.
I know.
You know?
And my son keeps asking me, like, because he's like, he knows that they need to get me something.
Yeah.
So he's like, Mom, send me something. Oh, shit. Like, I don't know.
I know. Dyson hair straightener.
Oh, yes. Taylor already said to her dad that me and her need that. And then I went to go add something in his Amazon cart. He's like, can you put what you need? And I saw it in there. I'm like, okay, I saw that. So, but obviously we're getting it because it was Black Friday.
Yeah. Hopefully you get it. So
I will.
There you go. You got it.
Yeah. And then I need new underwear.
I was going to tell your son you need new underwear, but I didn't know if that was inappropriate. So can you get her some panties, thongs, preferably?
I actually wrote to him seamless hanky-panky thongs. And then he reads it and he goes, does Taylor know what that is? Can she help out with that? I'm like, yes.
Can she go to the lingerie store and get these from my mom? Thanks. That'd be great. Because it feels a bit weird as a 14-year-old boy going to get my mom lingerie.
I was also thinking about like for the holidays, like is your husband like looking at times and dates and who's coming and what you're going to eat and all of
he just unfortunately a long time ago I just hijacked the holidays in terms of like I had traditions. My family had traditions. We've always done it since before we had kids, and we've never wavered from the tradition. So it's not like he's shocked and he hasn't offered a new tradition. So the tradition is the same. My house on the 24th, your house on the 25th, but you left me this Christmas and your mom. I won't say anything about that further.
We'll have to back that up like a Tonka truck.
I know, you left. You're gone. What's your mom going to do? Poor mom and I. So
she has my brother.
My brother. He's not going to go to.
I don't think so. Actually, I don't know. But yeah, but I'm just like, I bet a lot of moms have these traditions. Like it might have just been your tradition, right? But like, it's still us.
Yeah, it's still me. Yeah, I don't mind that though, because I here's the thing about women and
everything.
A lot of women. The thing with women is we like it our way, but then we complain when they don't do it their way. And then if they do it their way, we're not happy that they've done it that way. I take ownership of that. That I would like things to, like, I want it my way.
Yeah.
And that's tricky. Then I can't complain about it not being his way. Because if he was going to do it, then it's going to be his way. Because you don't want it the alternative. You want to do the food. You want to do, like, that's what you want. You don't want to do it.
Okay, so then everything I ask you to do on the side should be no problem. And it should be done fast and exactly when I say it should happen.
I mean, you should marry my husband. But he is like, he will be blowing snow before people walk. Like, it's crazy, the two pendulums of.
And also, my wine fridge should always be full.
You can just get that on reorder. You know that, right? Like, you can get that on like a.
I should do that.
Yeah, you can just get it delivered and it makes your life so much easier. But you don't like wine.
Oh, yeah, but I can't like drink like vodka during the week.
Who says?
Me, I'll get too drunk. You can sip wine like.
Are you drinking every night still?
No. I don't have it because I don't have any wine. But then they sell it at the Circle K, which is really great.
And you have a good brand there.
They haven't had Pinot Grigio. Listen, I'll drink anything. You know what I mean? Well, no. Well, I guess I'm more of a snob than I thought. I actually won't drink Chardonnay. But since I decided I like Pinot Grigio the best.
Yeah.
Sauvignon Blanc is really it's getting worse and worse for me because Pinot Grigio is so different.
You know, you're getting old when you have a favorite wine. That's when you're old. That's when you're seasoned. And I don't mean old. I mean, that's when you know things are changing. When you're like, I only drink Pinot Grigio.
Or when you're rich. Like, I'm not going to do it when you go to a particular, like, specific people's houses and they have that one kind.
They're usually old and, young people, like
rich
20-year-old with one kind of wine.
People. Maybe not 20, but like 30s. Like, what's the one that they all drink? Sancerre? Oh, what is it called? It's like $30 a bottle, which I find is expensive.
I don't know.
I don't know either, but they all have it. And then, someone gives it to you like, oh, this is so nice. I don't know I forget what it's called, but,
they bring it to like the dinner.
So I texted my neighbors and I was like, you need to talk to the manager of Circle K to get my wine in. Cause I don't really talk to him. So you have to tell him I'll be your number one
fan
customer.
Get the wine.
Give me some Pinot Grigio in there because that's a lot of Sauvignon Blancs that are just sitting there and I'm not buying them.
So what's the verdict?
Well, I texted them last night and said, could you please talk to him?
Okay. Let me know how that goes for you on your search of.
Actually, I should probably follow up today and say, have you spoken to him? I don't think he gives a fuck.
How many bottles would you go through a week if you had it? Like, would you be like, oh, I'm home. I'm going to have a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
It just depends. And then some days I just get in and then there's night. I mean, everything is really inconsistent.
Yeah.
And so it could be like, some nights I'm driving.
So we don't drink.
I'm cozy in my bed.
I don't drink.
Don't drink in my bed. So
it's a good boundary to have. I don't drink in my bed.
That'll be fun when that changes.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, it'll be great. You're never going to leave. You'll have a wine fridge beside your
I
bed.
feel like if I had wine while I was in my bed, I would get really bad acid reflux because I think you need to be sitting up when you're drinking wine.
Yeah. We're not about to go to sleep. I'd say that's a problem too.
Usually when I bring wine up to our room in the hotel, I never drink it.
I know. And you order it right before we go, $30. And I'm like, I just let you do it. And I'm like,
it's like a loot bag.
I know, but it wakes up in the morning. There's a full, I wonder.
I would finish it, but it's because I want to stay out longer. But then I'm like, if I bring the wine, I'll still be out longer. But then I get to the room like, no,
you're done.
It's over.
That's consistent too.
Yeah, it's over.
And often you're like, let's get the bill, but then let's get wine in the bill.
Yes. And then because I just don't want to be over.
What, watching people on the?
Yes.
I know.
In the lobby?
I have 0.00% FOMO.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll be there tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. Like there's no more. There's like you're not gonna miss anything by not like when you leave, you're not missing anything. You're gonna come home and everyone's gonna be there again the next day. It's very rare that you're at a situation where things are like way different. Do you know what I mean? Like where it's like you're at a once in a lifetime. Like I've never been to a place where things are so weird that I'll never see it again.
I know, but we spend so many of our nights in our house, in our bed, doing the same thing every single day.
I feel like I'm barely home at nighttime. I think I'm driving, I'm picking up,
okay,
I'm
so you're in a
off.
car or you're at home.
Yeah.
Like, I mean.
we travel a lot too, you and me.
That's good. But sometimes I look at my life and I'm just like.
I'm so blessed.
Or like I go downtown and there's such a life down there.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
literally, I'm in a car or my house. Like this is how I'm spending my life. Well, I'm not vacuuming, that's for sure.
I love it. I'm vacuuming.
Yeah,
my
I can
Roomba.
see you. I can
there
see
it goes.
you.
Quiet Roomba.
You
know what's weird again too with this whole thing of like how we live our lives and what like the monotony or the like redundancy of it, because as I'm watching younger podcasters and like people come up and expose their lives, it's all the same shit but they're just younger doing it. It's like everyone's it's the same thing we did at 21 and 22. It's no different. It's just so interesting to me because I said to one of my kids when we were talking about parties or something, I was like, well, you guys now get to go to factories or to like they have event spaces. We just went to parks. And I said there's nothing different than what you're doing, than what we did, what our parents did, and what your kids are going to do. It's going to be the exact same behavior over and over and over again. You've not reinvented the wheel. You just now have a place to go, because when they feel like their worlds are so deep and so important, I'm like, honest to God, we've all done it. This is what's going to happen.
Did you ever go to all ages clubs?
I mean, no.
I always heard about them, but I never went to one.
I think,
and then a lot of people went to raves.
Yeah,
I never went to one.
I never went. No, that's my worst nightmare, going to a rave.
Oh, because you also have to do drugs there.
My worst fucking nightmare. And she's like, do you think we'll have house parties anymore? I'm like, gone are the days of house parties, because you maniacs don't know how to act, and it gets on Snapchat and you invite 20 and 300 people show up. You ruined it for yourselves. I'm really sorry. You don't know how to act in a house. You don't know how to not ruin a house. So I said,
and now that you guys are just drinking straight vodka, who knows what could happen in a house?
I also said, we
need to get back to like beer and coolers. What's wrong with these people?
I literally, so here's what's so funny about the internet. If you talk to your kids about, some people believe if you talk to your kids about like sex, drugs, alcohol, that you're a bad parent because they're going to go and do it, right? Like then you're like, you're teaching them how to do it.
Like people who don't believe in sex ed at school. Yeah.
And I think just like probably the subworld of the internet, where they're like, if you, the black web or whatever called the dark web, where they're just like, if you, just people who want to be seedy and talk about weird things, like just don't understand life or don't have kids. I don't know. But I said to them, if you're going to drink, because if you are, I'm not saying go get drunk. Two very different conversations. I'm not giving you alcohol. I'm not saying take your 6 coolers and go give it a go tonight. If you are going to do it, mix it. Put something else in it. I'm like, just take something. Like, I won't, just don't.
If you love Diet Coke goes with rum, vodka,
I said
tequila.
I said, take an iced tea. and then they're like a twisted tea, and a twisted tea, and I was like, yeah, do something.
Yeah.
That's not me being a bad mom. That's just me
No.
teaching them the best case scenario of what if your kid's gonna do it, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it, whether you teach them or not. So teach them how to do it safely. They're not gonna not do it if you don't talk about it.
You know what else is crazy is I feel like the market for like vodka coolers is so much more vast than when we were young. Like all of those like core seltzers and all of those drinks that are like they're like a 5%. So a lot of them are the same as like a they could be 4.5 or 4. So like a light beer.
I'd like to know
why, if there's so many of those out there, aren't they drinking them?
Maybe they have to bring too many because so one bottle gets so much farther. So I'd like to talk to the person who started this. Like I want to backtrack and go back to who started the shot momentum because
it is easier because you get one bottle and you shoot it and there's like not a lot of like there's not a lot of cups and mixes and ice, so there's less to be caught and it's less to carry on. It's very true. Although people used to put like beers in their bags.
Oh, you like, clink around.
And those cans, like, I think that they think, because my daughter referred to one of them once and she's like those mom drinks. They think they're adult, like, drinks.
Sorry. If you're if you're doing straight shots from a bottle, you're
an animal.
That is more problematic than taking a mom drink. Take a mom drink.
Have more conversations with your kids about this. I'm just thinking about it now, and I know that we all just like I've talked with my kids about how people do that, but really to sit, my stepdad sat down at the dining room table one day and he brought out a beer and a shot of tequila. And then he brought out another beer and he showed them. And it was such a good lesson, actually. Like,
yeah.
And he's like, taste the tequila, like taste it. See how strong that is? Like, and if you taste a beer, it's like a big difference. This is how many this equals. And, my siblings learned that the hard way because they actually did that as even back, they were doing that as well.
Then, so they started it. So we need to have a conversation because we did not do that.
No, I didn't have a shot until I was, and the only shots we ever did was at the
Zambuca.
bar, or like lemon drops, which were mostly just juice.
Yeah. No, these people are crazy. These people are unhinged what they're doing.
We were so much more reasonable.
The hospital must be like, are you, not you again, not you 15-year-old in a
vodka shots.
A tequila, they'll do anything they can get their hands on.
How do they swallow that? Oh, they chase it with
coolers. They're just I just look at them, I'm like this.
I heard about them chasing with chocolate milk. Oh god! You want to barf? There you go.
Ew. Yeah, it is an interesting conversation of it. The how they're no different. I'm like, you're no different. We did exactly what you did. Like you're literally no different. You're not naughtier. You're not. Mm-mm. You're actually nothing's changed. You're not like when parents are so shocked that their kids are. I'm like, you're shocked. Did you? Well, actually, some people don't do much when they were kids. The best is if you were naughty, and then when you have kids who are not naughty, they're like, what would you do? I'm like, every time you go out, I expect a phone call. Every time you go out, I'm expecting one of you to come home a hot mess or be with hot mess. Like I never am not thinking that something illicit is going on. I'm never not like, I would never be like, oh my God, if you are in the basement with your friends, I am assuming the worst. Always, I'm assuming the worst. Like I'm literally assuming the worst.
I don't. And the craziest thing is that when we did it, we never got caught, and they could never track us. So we
went to parks.
Or like got into went down into areas where they would let you in, even though you were young. And it was only one time that these parents, they were adamant, and they tracked down.
Ooh.
And we lied and said we were babysitting. Okay. But when they didn't believe it, they went to the house, and the house that we told them, like that we had babysat before, it was actually under construction. So they were like, where the fuck are they? So they called like every because they had like the friends' phone numbers on the list of the fridge. They called everyone. Do you know where they are? Do you know they were? Some parent knew where they were because the older brother's band was playing there. They drove down and walked into the club.
Did you have to go with them?
I was sleeping over at the house. Everyone was smoking like weed inside this club.
How old are you?
I'm going to say grade 11.
Oh.
So 15 or 16. Walked right in and basically plucked us out, put us in the back of the minivan.
Were you scared?
I was so scared.
What did your mom say?
We had like a meeting about it.
And you never talked to that person again?
Oh my God, yes. I slept there all the time. Are you kidding?
I was like,
but we got in trouble together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh yeah, they were serious parents.
And you got in trouble?
Yeah, I got in trouble. Oh my gosh, we were in so much trouble.
Did you have to like write an apology note? Dear so-and-so,
we had a family meeting though, like her parents and my mom, and we had to sit in their formal living room and basically talk about like what the punishment was going to be. And
what was the punishment?
I don't remember.
You know, it's so crazy that we haven't had to do this yet. And then I think of like a punishment, because I'm like, okay, a punishment. I think our kids tell us too much. So it's like there's not, it's hard to punish them because they're not really doing something that is
we're not
wrong.
Yeah.
Or they're really good liars, which is totally capable. Like I'm very aware.
We think that's a great life skill.
Very aware you could be like a very good liar.
Yeah.
But it's like they tell us everything before it happens. So you're kind of like, well, what am I going to do? What am I going to actually do to you?
And usually if something really bad happens, the repercussions serve themselves.
I'm like trying to think of what has been the worst consequence of our kids. Like what have they been punished for? Punished, that's the wrong word. What have they been?
The biggest, I guess, punishment was the time that one of them was so rude to me and I wasn't on my pills and I got so mad. And I
don't remember.
Yeah,
this.
and I remember he didn't go to practice, and the coach was like, "I really need him to come."
Oh yeah,
and he knew for days that he was in trouble. That's the worst, and that's all he had to do. All he had to do is he just missed practice, which at the time was the end of the world. Oh, and I made him write an apology to everyone on his hockey team.
Good. You know, we should go off our pills.
No, I didn't like that. I don't want to be that kind of parent. No. That was a lot of work. I just let it slide. No, I know what you mean. And you know, those people are like, oh, they have their phone taken away again. They're grounded again. Like, you know, those people are always grounded, always have their phone taken away.
I know.
Like, I'm never taking your phone away. I want to know where you are all the time. That's I need it for me.
I know. I'm trying to think of what I mean.
Grounded? Like, what? I mean, what are they going to do that it's going to make us ground them?
Ooh.
I'm sure it's going to get to a point where they're going to be in some big. But I mean, I hear of some of the other things that kids do that are bad, and I'm like, actually, I guess if they did rooftopping,
yeah,
I'd be pretty mad at that. How they could die?
Would you know
if I found out? Rooftoping, you guys have heard of this, where people go to the tops of buildings and they dangle their feet and they're dangled demons.
Or worse. Yeah.
And there's one kid and he's got his public Instagram and these beautiful photos.
I know.
From the rooftop.
I know.
I'm like, what camera is this guy using? But he's at the top of buildings.
I know.
Very dangerous.
And they all know him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they could do. Oh, yeah, because when other kids are doing bad things, it's usually the lesson is served to them.
I know.
Whether it's like through their friends, through their school, through being sick, through like just learning from the bad experience.
I know.
I guess if your kid did the same bad thing over and over again.
Oh, God, I'd lose my mind. I'd lose my mind. You know, it's like, I think they would be more nervous of what their dad would say than what I would say because he's quiet, but you know, he definitely would, he has a higher
Well, I think we would also
strictness.
We would also see like, we would take it and be like, so like, what's the lesson here?
Yeah. What happened?
Yeah. And
where'd we go wrong?
What are you going to take from this? You know what I mean? To make sure this doesn't happen again. I think that we would really see it like that because, you know, all the bad things that I did when I was younger, I just learned from them, like not to do that again or not put myself in that situation again.
It's so weird because Kristen Bell just did, like, I was on one of the talk shows about teenagers and like how it's, they're like it's so nice to see someone being honest about parenting teenagers honestly. I'm like, gosh dang it. And it's so,
I find when celebrities say like, I don't give my kids technology until they're 18, I find that very unrelatable. And I don't think that they should actually be able to have an interview and influence other people because I think that is, you do not live in the world that we live in.
Yeah, you don't live in the world that we live in. It was more about like for her, it was her daughter's like body image and like confidence and the way they look. And
did she say there's no phones either?
No, she didn't say that. She just was like it can be a shit show in the morning when they like look in the mirror and we don't have that yet. That they're not visibly not going somewhere because of the way they look. Like they don't really have those issues yet. Not issues or these concerns. And I was thinking, I was like, it's so interesting that it's applaudable for sharing when it's really what most of us are dealing with in terms of our like adult selves of body image and like, does she have her shit so together that she is not having the issues? Or I'm like, this is such an adult issue for such a teen forum. Because teenagers are supposed to sort of this is very normal for teenagers to question what they look like and not like things, and they're growing and like their bodies are changing. Like it's so normal for teenagers to be awkward and feel awkward. And I think to like mute that is maybe not the best thing because you're allowed. Yeah, we don't all feel good 100% of the time. None of us feel good 100% of the time. Doesn't mean you hate yourself. But if you don't like something that day, that's okay.
Oh God! My God! And we have been having this conversation for so long.
I think that when it starts to show up in the kids, and we try to be like, listen, we try to affirmations. I think that it's totally okay to be like, I don't like my hair. I hate my hair today. Cool.
Yeah.
You know what? That's fine.
This morning, we were getting ready and. My son walks by my daughter and goes, I hate your hair. And she goes, I hate it too.
Yeah.
And he goes, because like, I guess she used to have like really like thick, shiny, big hair and she puts heat on it and she washes her hair every day. So it's become finer. But when he goes, I hate your hair, she's like, I hate it too. Not like, Teddy, like, why is it? She's like, take two. I also don't like my hair today.
I think we need to have space for letting people not be okay with something.
Having an ugly day.
I think I don't know why we don't embrace that more. And why can't our kids? It doesn't mean our kids are like low self. It's one thing if they're everyday low self. If it's another thing if they don't like something that day, I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get that. I have those days too. Normalize that we don't all have. Yeah. You don't have to love everything every single day because that is just negative too. Like if you're like, yes, go girl.
Yeah.
Get it out. Get it out. Get it out. Get it out. Scream it from the rooftops. I hate my ass today.
It was just it's so funny. Like it must have been a day. She must have been having one of those days because then she's like, I'm all in black. Do I look emo? Yeah. And I'm like, no. And then she's like, this top looks terrible with this outfit. And I was like, I just goes, nobody's looking at you.
Yeah.
I just so you know, don't go change. You're going to be late. Nobody's looking at you.
No one cares.
Nobody's looking at you.
They're looking at themselves. Yeah, I just think that we, honest to God, need to stop trying to like fight this thing. And like, if you wake up today and you're like, I don't like it, fucking, it's okay.
You know what's great? There's always tomorrow.
Exactly. There's this afternoon. Maybe something will change. Maybe it won't. It's okay if it doesn't. As long as you don't hate yourself.
Yeah.
Have lots of you can have bad days.
Yeah. Because I had a bad day. The camera don't lie. Right?
Yeah. Just like I was just thinking when they were saying that, I was like, let's just normalize that fucking people don't like themselves some days.
Oh, yeah. And then some days they're just like, fucking nailed it.
Yeah. I think that'd be a healthier approach to selfhood, especially for kids. Some
days you're having an ugly day. It doesn't mean that you got hit with the ugly stick.
No.
Just means it's today.
And I mean, look back at some of your faces. They were not kind.
Holy shit. I'm even talking about since we started this thing. I don't know how I got out of bed in the morning.
But we loved ourselves. Oh, it didn't matter.
We sure did. We rough. But I mean, it was definitely a reflection of having small children and not being able to take all the time to do to get it. But wow,
I also showed my kids one phase when they didn't brush their hair. One of them wouldn't brush her hair. I'm like, remember this phase? Like, do you remember this? I think they all go through this phase where they don't brush their hair. I'm like, you remember this? And she's like, immediate delete. I'm like, no. I'm like, this was a phase and you didn't think any less of yourself.
And also, when I look back at, and we look back at the family pictures a lot and we love to laugh at them. And luckily one of them has like more worse phases than the other. And even she laughs at them.
Yeah.
She thinks it's so funny. I love looking back at bad phases because it makes me feel really good right now.
And we also thought we were great. I mean, so it doesn't
So bad.
matter.
I really thought, I was like,
And those moments could have just been a bad moment.
it's a lot of them. There was a lot of them. Like, just didn't even care. Like, the makeup and the.
We didn't care. I mean, we cared. We just didn't have the capacity.
We thought that was pretty good.
Oh my God. Oh, let us know. Ugly days, ugly life.
Yes.
No.
No, it doesn't.
Not, ugly days, not an ugly life. That's what I meant. Just,
I know what you meant.
Get an ugly day. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just fucking, I have an ugly day. I have an ugly day.
We should write a song about it.
I have an ugly day. It's an ugly day.
Tomorrow might be better.
But today's an ugly day. Tomorrow will be better. But today's an ugly day.